In doing the group, we will be glancing at the memory very, very quickly. Whatever single individual difficult memory you want to glance at, we will glance at that memory. We're going to stay focused on that memory. We're not going to let other memories come up. Not going to let them. Letting other memories come up is a recipe in this version of Flash for things to go off a cliff pretty quickly. It's also possible when glancing at a memory, we may just peek at it very, very quickly, and then we get pulled into it. Or we may get kicked in the chest as though we've been kicked by a horse, because there's just, in that little bitty glance, there may be way too much content that comes out of it, and then we may have emotional responses attached to that content. In Flash, we want to go out of our way not to have big emotional responses. So if you are, you're going to need to ground first, which is what I'm going to teach you here. You're going to need to do grounding, and then we're going to need to probably do the shop vac resource to get the distress out of your body. Feel free to look around your current space. Do you have anything that you can use for the smell sense when we do grounding? Do you have a candle? Do you have chapstick? Do you have a drink that may have a smell? Do you have anything that may have a taste? Feel free to pause here, go get a warm or cool drink, and then come back, and then we'll continue with the grounding exercise. I'm going to teach this grounding exercise really quickly at first. I would encourage you to keep doing it and practicing it between now and whenever your group meets, to make sure that your nervous system knows how to do it pretty automatically, because the time to review it is when difficult stuff isn't happening, so that when you really need it, when difficult stuff is happening, it's there and pretty easily accessible to you. I also, when working with clients, I like to get consent. And in order to get consent, I want to talk about exactly what we'll be doing. So we're going to check each of the senses for just a few seconds each. And if that sounds like a good idea, let's go ahead and do this exercise. This exercise is only going to take probably 70 seconds. It's going to be that quick. And when you're practicing it between now and whenever your group meets, feel free to slow it down. But I want to have this in place, just for now. Good. I invite you to look around your current space and notice several things you see. And notice that if you were to go touch those things, would it be hard or soft or some other texture? Good. I invite you to touch, with your hand, touch a piece of furniture next to you and just notice, is it warmer, cooler, or the same temperature as your hand? Good. As you move your fingertips across that surface, does it feel completely smooth, or do you notice a slight texture? Good. As you move your fingertip across that surface, do you notice any changes in temperature? Good. I'm going to be very quiet. Just notice whatever you hear in order of loudest first. Good. And whatever you have near you that has a smell, feel free to just engage with that for just a moment and notice that smell. Good. And whatever you have near you, if you've got a drink that has a taste, notice that taste. Notice the temperature, notice the taste. If not, just notice what you currently are noticing on the taste sense. Good. How did that go? Did it let you feel a little bit more connected to the present, to your current room, to this moment. If not, give it a little break, come back, try this exercise again. The detailed script for doing this is inside the treatment guide, which will be available on the same site where you got this video from. If you struggled with it, come back, try it again later. But if it did kind of let you feel a little bit more connected to the present, what I'm going to ask you to do is make a mental note of which of the senses let me feel a little bit more present. Which of the senses let me feel more strongly present in this moment? Because that's the one I'm going to want you to start with if you glance at the memory and the memory pulls you in. Or if you have a very, very strong reaction from briefly engaging with the memory. Try this, practice this between now and when our group meets. And again, if there are problems, I anticipate that there may be problems for several people or many people who may try this. If there are problems, try it again later. If you keep having problems, zip me a little message and we'll see if we can't troubleshoot it. Thanks for trying, and let's keep going.